First to Edgbaston for the Ashes and Rob Jones.
Well, one day before an Ashes series, you would think a nervous night's sleep potentially for the two captains. One man who knows all about leading his team into big occasions is the former England captain, Eoin Morgan, who always looked like the coolest man in the place. So we saw you chatting to Ben Stokes not too long ago, and he looked equally calm. Is that how you sense it is deep down for him too?
Yeah, it is, very much so. And I think he just has been reiterating that message this last 2 weeks, probably since the start of the Ireland Test match at Lord's. It's all about trying to stay in the moment as much as you can and try and get the best out of what they have in that changing room. And I think for any leader, that's always really reassuring that you're focusing on your own team's performance and process as opposed to focusing too much on the opposition. And we've seen it a lot in recent times. Certainly Joss Buttler and his team winning the T20 World Cup in Australia continue to reiterate that message. But Ashes cricket does certainly change things. It doesn't seem to have changed anything for Ben Stokes and his men yet. So we're all hoping that they go out and really test the limits again in this series.
One day out as a captain, what did you see as your role?
Yeah, here it's about getting around the group, reiterating that clear and transparent message. And I think as you're doing that, there are certain characters that will be getting too high at one end of the change room and other characters that will be getting too low at others. And it's recognising those moments to be able to go aside, speak to them individually, or maybe get somebody who they trust in the change room just to pick them up or take them down. To spend as little energy as possible on a day like today. I think it's going to be a grueling 5 days of cricket where the sun will play a huge part, and it's against a really strong Australian team as well. So today is about conserving energy, make sure the mood in the camp is really, really strong and everybody knows their role over the next 5 days, and then from the moment you leave, doing your best to switch off and sleep well tonight.
Team-wise, was that the attack you'd have gone for?
Yeah, I think it was. I think as soon as they called up Moeen Ali, you envisage that they haven't called him up to sit him on the sideline, particularly at his home ground. So you would see the likes of him playing. I think Mark Wood missing out will be a little bit, costly over the course of 5 days, because you would think the wicket is going to be a batter's paradise and potentially turn later on in the game. So, having to fit 4 into 3 isn't easy. Anderson, Broad and Robinson are a formidable attack, and if the confidence in the change room is high and trust in selection is strong, they'll come good.
Did you feel, or do you feel with Mark Wood that injury-wise and getting him through a 5-match series, he's the one you have to be the most careful with? Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, bowling is high risk regardless of what pace that you bowl at, but even more so for the likes of Mark Wood. There's a reason he brings a unique element to bowling, and when he brings it, it is just such a point of difference for any captain or any team going out that he's in. So they've already acknowledged that their bowling attack, won't be the same for every game, given that it's 5 games in 6 weeks. So you would like to think that we'll see probably 2 or 3 games from Mark Wood.
As a white ball captain, you're always big into matchups. Do you think that plays as well? I mean, Ben Stokes said it did a little bit in his press conference, the Warner Broad thing to get Stewart into the team and maybe nick him off quickly twice.
It 100% will. And Ben has been really smart and astute as captain, because he has brought a dimension of T20 and one-day cricket into Test match cricket. And for short periods and short spurts of Test matches, that is key really, because there is no hiding place in the Test match arena, and if somebody has the wood over you, there's no way you're getting away from that. So you will see the likes of Smith and Labuschagne up against Broad and Anderson straight away, but that there's a huge amount of history between Warner and Stuart Broad. So you envisage that will be the first, Stuart Broad will go into tomorrow, and if England bowl first, he will have the new ball.
When we look back at what we saw from Australia at the Oval last week, it was largely impressive, but with a little bits and bobs, you think, that might be a potential area of weakness.
No, I think they're extremely impressive. You don't go the space of a 2-year cycle to culminating in winning the World Test Championship final and beating a strong Indian team without hard work, dedication and resilience. So they've been extremely impressive. Again, they have a bit of a selection headache as well as to if Josh Hazelwood is fit, does he come back in, and who he comes back in for. Very similarly to the England lineup, trying to fit 4 into 3. But Australia are really, really strong. Play a more traditional brand of Test match cricket and will play the long game. And it'll be interesting to see if England get ahead of the game or the series at any stage, whether they're interested in playing a little bit of baseball.
I think we can say that it'll be lively here tomorrow. But your own memories of playing at Edgbaston as a captain to take England into a World Cup final with the winning runs must have been amazing.
Yeah, it is. It's one of the greatest grounds in the country, and England's home record here is exceptional. So to have the first test of an Ashes series here, hopefully get off to a good start and bring momentum back down south to Lords for the second test match, I think will be England's plan.
Owen, thank you very much. Great to speak to you. As we just mentioned, Eoin Morgan led England to the World Cup final by beating Australia here in 2019. Can Ben Stokes get off to a flying start with his team in the 2023 Ashes?